Hello friends, I'm Father Frank Pavone, National Director of Priests for Life. In November of 2002, the Vatican, through the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, which at that time was headed up by Cardinal Ratzinger, who is now Pope Benedict, issued a document, which I have here in my hand, called On Some Questions Regarding the Participation of Catholics in Political Life. It's called a doctrinal note. Shortly after this document came out, I interviewed our friend and our Priest for Life advisor, Cardinal Renato Martino. He was serving at the time as the president of the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace, and he was for a long time the Pope's representative at the United Nations. Our interview talked about the elections and Catholic responsibility in the voting booth. Listen to what Cardinal Martino had to say in reflecting upon this note from the Vatican in regard to the duty of Catholics to vote and to vote in an informed, responsible way.
What a better motivation can we have to be involved or become more active in the making our societies, our world, a better place? And what could be easier than being an informed and active voter? Voting is a right as well as a duty, but it is also essential to be informed and to vote as your heart and your conscience tell you.
Well, the Cardinal makes an important point, and obviously we have to inform our conscience through the teachings of the moral law and the Catholic faith. The importance of being consistent is also stressed by this doctrinal note. In fact, the note is essentially telling us we are able to know the difference between right and wrong, between good and evil. The political life of our day often involves politicians saying, well, what's right and what's wrong, it's up to each individual. We really can't know for sure how we're supposed to apply the moral law to our political life. But the note and also the words of the Cardinal make it very clear that in our public life as well as our private life, in the voting booth as well as everywhere else, we have to be consistent with what we believe and with what the moral law teaches. Listen again to what Cardinal Martino has to say.
The note stresses the fact that a person, a Catholic, or anyone with a well-formed conscience, a well-formed understanding of right and wrong, good and evil, can never vote for a political program or law which contradicts the fundamental contents of faith and morals. A Catholic politician or a Catholic voter cannot separate himself or herself from his or her moral responsibility. You cannot choose when and where to be Catholic, and that includes political life and voter responsibility.
My friends, I invite you to spread far and wide the message that the Cardinal gives us here, and this document, by the way, can be found on our politicalresponsibility.com website. The message of consistency. Some people say, well, this is what I do in my public life, this is what I do in my private life. But we are each one person, we have one conscience, we have to be faithful to it. The same hands that we lift up in prayer are the hands that pull the lever in the voting booth. The same eyes that read the Word of God are the eyes that read the names on the ballot. Let's not forget that we continue to be Christian, we continue to be Catholic when we enter that voting booth. God bless you as you prepare to vote in this election.